Today, for the first time, you're gonna see a new type of video on our YouTube channel. And to be honest, probably a new type of video on all of YouTube. We're gonna be uploading a challenge style YouTube video for 3D printing. Michael and I are gonna be competing to see who can come up with the best product this week that is 3D printed. We're gonna be sticking to a sports theme this week, and for future reference, the rules for these challenge videos are just stick to the theme.
So for this challenge, what I've thought of is a mini desktop skee-ball game. So here's the design I thought of from the side. The main goal that I want from this build is for it to print out all in one piece. So for that to happen, I have to do this kind of like all combined sort of like design, right? And it's actually very ingenious because these little legs right here allow us to make a ramp so that when the ball is thrown in here, it just lands and then rolls all the way down. And in order for the ball to even go up in the air, this little thing right here is curved. The balls I'm going to be making are going to be about 10 millimeters in height, which means that the collection where the balls are going to appear again need to be a little bigger than that. So I'm going to make that about 15 millimeters. The total build length that I want is 179 millimeters, which is approximately 7 inches. Just so that it could fit on a desk easily. And a fun thing I'm going to add to this game is that I'm going to print out one black ball. And that black ball is going to be 2 times the points. And if you understand how this mechanism works over here, that's okay because I drew it up over here. I don't know if you can tell, but there's going to be a giant bin here just to collect any balls that you miss from these 2 holes. Then these 2 holes are just going to be little incisions depending on the height and the width of the balls. So obviously the smallest hole is going to give you the most points, 100 points. Then the second smallest hole is going to give you 50 points. And that's pretty much what I've thought of for this design. Obviously, this is not the exact way I'm going to do it. The only way that I can really truly know how to do this build is to actually model it on Fusion. After about 45 minutes of modeling, this is the progress that I've made so far. And I'm almost done actually. All I got to do is finish closing up this wall. And as you can tell, this is how it's going to work. So you're going to basically roll the ball. It's going to go up, and then there's going to be holes in this area right here. And each hole is going to be small or big, and the smaller the hole is, the more points you're going to get. And then the ball will just roll all the way back to where you go and pick it up and try again. All I have to do is just put that last little wall, and then we should be in business. So I finally finished the model after about another hour. There it is. And I will have to admit that I did slice off this part of the entire build so that the whole piece wouldn't have a bunch of supports when I printed it, because that would have wasted a bunch of filament and also made it almost impossible to take off the supports. So let me show you how this actually works on my desk. So right here is the entire print with the mini balls that I mentioned. Remember, this black one is 2 times the points. And pretty much you would just roll the balls up to here and try and land it in one of the points. These 2 points are 100. These 4 are 50, and these 3 are 25. I also gave it the brand logo name because I just felt like doing that. And basically what you would do is just roll the ball and try and get it to slide. A lot of times it gets caught there. You could just pick it up and try again. And for example, here's how the mechanism would launch it back. You see how it ends up back there? I have a ramp inside here that delivers it all the way back to here. And then to get the balls back, I can simply put my finger in here and pull it out. I think this is going to be a very competitive design to Pablo. And for Pablo's to win, it's going to take a lot.
Wow, what a design, Michael. And yeah, that is probably going to be a pretty hard design to beat. You're right. But I think I have an idea. So my design is basically a purge deflector that looks cool. So here you could see that I have like, the drawings are kind of chaotic, but I'll explain. This piece here is the piece that actually clips on to the 3D printer, and it's what holds the actual like sport like board deflectors in place. And then these 3 things are what I'm going to design. So one is a basketball rim, obviously that's what it looks like. And yeah, so basically we have like the height of it, the width of it. Next up, it's kind of a little hard to tell, but this is a side image of a field goal in football. And so I have the measurements and like a little piece here and this and this. And you might be wondering, like, what is this piece here? Like, this doesn't look part of a field goal. Yes, you're right. But I came up with an idea to make it so they're all swappable. Like I could put this piece on and then just have them all swap into place. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to basically do like a little piece that clips on, right? Like imagine this is the piece that clips on, and then it has a board connected like that, and it has a hole in it. And then that's what I'm going to that's what I'm going to use to be able to slide the other pieces on. And this is basically how it would look like, and these are the measurements for it, and blah blah blah. And I'm going to have a volleyball net here. It's kind of hard to tell from my drawings, but I have all the measurements I need, and I have the idea in mind. So I'll show you guys in my model. So here is my model that I'm going to be using to hold the multiple deflectors. We have this piece right here, which is what locks it into place into the 3D printer. And then we have this piece here, which is going to be like the and like this hole here, which is where you slide in the different backboards. Then we have the field goal. And then we have a basketball hoop. And then we have a volleyball net. So now let's just quickly get all the models. Now that we have all the models, we could see how we could use them. So here I have the volleyball net already attached. And then you would just put it onto here. And it just snaps on like that. But then, let's say you want to just switch out. What you would do is you just grab the board. Oops. I knocked the camera down a little bit. And then you would slide it out like I just did. And then you just like the basketball piece, for example. You get that one and you just slide it in. And then that's done. And let's say you wanted to switch it again. You have the football piece, and you just slide it in, and then boom.
So now you guys have seen both me and Pablo's builds for this week's sports themed challenge, it's time for you guys to decide who won in the comments. On top of that, I also ask that you like and subscribe if this video truly brought you some value or at least entertainment. Also, if you want to build things like we did in this video, I also recommend that you watch last week's video on prototyping. We hope to see you guys back next week.